So for most of my life now, I believed in fate in a way that everything is pre-planned and set out before me. And for a long time, I have not thought that there's been anything wrong with that. I've lived my life knowing that if something happens, it's meant to be, and if it doesn't happen, it's not meant to be. Until recently, when I saw this beautiful girl on the train, and I was wondering to myself whether or not I should speak to her. Because of course, why not? I mean, we looked at each other, we smiled, and I wondered, why don't I get up and just say hello or something? But this was my thinking. In my head, I thought, if it's meant to be, I will get up and speak to her. If not, I will stay in my seat and remain quiet and read my book. This is where it goes downhill. Because I feel like if I start to think like this and rely on a pre-planned destiny, then I am not going to be taking action. I know this is spoken about before, maybe I'm just only realizing it now, but in that moment I actually started thinking about it. I realized perhaps I've been living in this false comfort of destiny, and believing that if something happens, it's meant to happen. But I think maybe I could be wrong. Because maybe it was meant to be. Maybe I was supposed to talk to her. But simply I didn't, because I was nervous and all these other things. I don't exactly know how to express what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is that if there is no fate, if there is no destiny, if nothing is pre-planned, then I need to get out of the mindset of relying on this destiny, these predefined things, and do something. I need to get out of this comfort of living in my head, where if something good happens, it's meant to be, and if it doesn't, it does not. Because who knows? Maybe there is this whole destiny thing, and maybe the destiny, mine, at least at that point, was not to talk to them. But what if it wasn't? What if this doesn't exist, and we really are our own free beings? And I know that sounds stupid, because we are free, we can do exactly whatever we want. I can pick up this mouse, drop it, I can throw it out the window and maybe hit someone in the swimming pool. That's not the point though. Despite us being these free beings, I cannot help but feel that things are pre-planned in some way. Some things are too coincidental, some things work out too nicely. In times where we need something the most, maybe it suddenly appears. Of course, there are probably different names and explanations and theories for these phenomenon, but it's so strange, because I just couldn't stop thinking about that girl and whether or not I should have spoken to her. My whole life I've been living in a state which is very comfortable for myself. I've never really stepped out of the comfort zone. The most uncomfortable thing is going out and not packing an umbrella, and then it starts raining. That is the discomfort that I receive. And I just wonder what it is that holds me back from doing something as simple as just getting up and talking to somebody, because it is not a big deal. And like I said, if it's meant to be, then it might go well, and if it doesn't, then we all know the end to that story. I'm just afraid at this point that all the opportunities I've had to make something happen, I have not taken them simply because I thought, if it's meant to be, they will come to me, or things will happen to me. I expect from this life everything to happen to me. I saw a quote recently, I forgot where, but it's basically that life is not coming at you, it is coming from you. What does that mean? I guess, at least the way I interpreted it, was that you make things happen, and that's that. Things happen to you as well, but life comes from you. Forget this whole pre-planned thing. If you're with somebody and it's not working out, there's a point where you can say it's not meant to be. But destiny and all that stuff aside, everything is still well within our reach. As in, you can really do anything. Maybe I'm a bit too old to be just gaining consciousness all of a sudden, this idea of free will. I mean, I'm 21, turning 22 this year, and now I'm suddenly having this awakening of awareness that I can do whatever I want. But it's a very fine line between what I want to do and what could potentially be planned out for me. Maybe this is all predestined. Maybe seeing that girl on the train has inspired my awareness. And now all of a sudden, I'm going to be aware of this pre-planned awareness and how it might not actually be pre-planned. So what I'm trying to say is, I should stop relying on the comfort of things that are predestined. And I need to take more action and really live in that moment. Because now more than ever, I see people talking about their golden years. And the golden years were when they were my age. And nothing at the moment seems too golden. Which is, it's not a good sign, because if I'm in everybody's golden years, I would like to make mine more golden. I'm not complaining, I'm very lucky to be where I am and have everything that's happened to me. But what I'm trying to say is, it is time to really initiate and take action. I like to move independently. I like to be alone. It's nice. Maybe that's why I like writing so much. But I need to make myself feel uncomfortable. Not in a crazy way, but in a way that I'm not used to. I need to take another risk so that when I'm dying on my deathbed, I can say, I'm glad I took that. I'm glad I spoke to the beautiful girl on the train, which I didn't, which is a shame. So that's going to be one regret on the deathbed. But you never know, I might see her again if it's meant to be. If it's meant to be, I'll see her again. But if not, then it's a painful lesson that you need to really grasp hold of everything that is in front of you. Because you probably will not get another chance. And in some ways, that is the beauty of one aspect of life. So you're only given one chance. And whether you take it or it goes by you, you will feel the lasting effects of it. Your life would have taken a completely different course. Maybe I wouldn't even be making this video. Because maybe if I spoke to her, I would have just continued thinking, this is my destiny, this is fate, and that's how it is. I do think destiny and fate are different. I don't know the exact nuances of their definitions. In my own words, without searching anything up, I feel like destiny is something which comes from yourself. It's planned for you, whereas fate, I feel like, it's a force that can draw you to another person and more people. It's fate that brings two people together, and that fate is just within your destiny. Now, to tie this into writing, because this is a writing channel, I don't know where exactly to tie this into my writing, but it's made me aware that you are the puppeteer for your characters, and they will lead a life very much like yours. But everything that you lead for them is pre-planned. Their lives are fully predestined. There is a fate for them, and that fate is in your control. And I think that's a very, very bold responsibility given to me. You are almost playing God as a writer, which I'm becoming more and more aware of. I do not have that responsibility. Maybe that's why my stories are not so good and my characters always fall short. And that's another thing. This is not any writing advice, but it's just a broader thought regarding my own writing. If I just rely on the fact that in the future, am I a best-selling author? Do I get my own spot on Waterstones? Who knows? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, we all know the answer to that. So I could just sit back, do my writing, let that drive slowly sap out of me, because it's in my fate or it isn't. And that frightens me as well, because I don't want to lose that small drive that I have, which is governed by whether or not fate is a thing. Because if it's not, and I'm falsely relying on it, then my life is going nowhere. It is slowly dwindling away, and I'm going to be on my deathbed thinking, that was not a good idea. So I guess the writing advice is just to read as much and write as much as possible, and don't rely on yourself in the future. Because if you haven't taken the reins at this point in time, why would your future self do it? Don't rely on anything, not even destiny or fate. Rely on this singular moment and do what you can with it. And if you ever see somebody on the train, beautiful, not beautiful, but if you want to talk to them, talk to them. Because you never know where your life can go afterwards. And you don't even know them anyway. Just if it doesn't work out, just walk away. Because they don't know you, you don't know them, and you will probably never see them again. So, as they say in a film, carpe diem. It's the only Latin phrase I know. It's kind of cheesy that I refer to it, but right now, at this point in my life, it is truer than ever. So, best of luck to everybody out there. Get on a train, and don't wait for things to happen to you. Exude life and live in the moment before it outlives you. Peace out.